Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And of course, good morning, mini Motorways. Let's go to Munich for today's daily challenge. It's already been a day. My microphone wasn't working. God, we're here. We will only get one choice of upgrade. We start with 2 bridges, and that's it. So we're going to use one bridge right here, and we are absolutely paving this island. If we are not... It's not that, we're only getting 2 bridges and we've already used one of them. Not great. Not great, Bob. Don't like it. So, let's start paving this island right the F now. Sounds like a plan. Also, speaking of things that we will be doing right the F now, we will be showing our stream schedule for the week. It is pretty dang full. We are pretty much doing everything we ordinarily do in a given week. Do make note, Friday morning, I'm hoping to begin Gimmimimim a little earlier than usual, and the reason for that is that I have to be out the door at pretty much bang on 8 o'clock in the morning. So we'll try to start Gimmimimim a little early on Friday. But the reason that I've done the, here's the schedule for the week thing so early in our Monday morning stream is that I know there are folks here in the chat and in the community who don't necessarily love when the underscore Goog gets angry, particularly about, say, politics and stuff. So I'm giving fair warning right now. Today's the day. I'm going to try very hard over the next 4 years and also forever to not follow the day-to-day comings and goings of the fall of the American Empire. But today's going to be a day. Today is, in fact, a day. So we're going to talk about TikTok and life, and mostly TikTok, actually. I'm going to try to frame everything around the basic, structure of TikTok, but also I haven't written anything. So if we get rambly, we're going to get rambly. Fair warning. Also, again, I'm going to try not to do this every day. We're going to do it once, and then that's probably going to be enough. Speaking of things that we're going to do once and then probably enough, these purples here are... Man, this big road is big, not necessarily great. I really particularly dislike the purple part of this. The orange and blue parts of this are bad, don't get me wrong. The purple part of this is where it gets truly ridiculous. But, hey, you know what we can do? Make it a little bit less nonsensular is if we do this, then at least this is all one straight road. It's still not great, It's still not super what we've done in this area, but it's gonna be fine? Question mark? It's probably not gonna be fine, actually. All right, why don't you go up that way? You come over here. You can be a perfectly cromulent traffic light right there. If we get one more blue on this side of the road, though, actually, you know what? F that already. This one blue house will support this one blue business, all by its very own blue self. If for no other reason than that I can't get this blue over here. Good morning, Clancy the Crow. Clancy is here. All right, so... TikTok got banned and unbanned over the weekend. Or, I don't know if TikTok got unbanned or if TikTok just said, fuck it. We're going to act as though we're not banned. Prove us wrong, America. We'll take 2 traffic lights here. Good morning, Polyghost. So again, last fair warning before I start actually talking. We're going to talk politics and TikTok and life and things today. And then we're going to be done with it for a while. As much as we can be. I'm trying not to actively fiddle while the world burns, but, there's a bit of Nero in us all, I suppose. So TikTok got banned, and I don't really want to talk about, whether or not in a vacuum it's good that TikTok got banned, because I don't know, first of all. The stated reason for TikTok being banned is, China might get your data, which is a thing that happens whether or not TikTok exists. So that's bullshit. But it is also true that TikTok could just be bad, right? Like, there is a very powerful, persuasive, and, frankly, factual argument to be made. Oh, thank God for this motorway, by the way. We now, with the presence of this motorway, can swing this orange up over here. We can disconnect these purples from that, and we can do this thing. Oh, this is a lovely thing that we've just done. We can do that. We can make this less of a pain in the ass. Oh, everything's wonderful now, or at least less terrible. So there's a very strong, powerful, persuasive argument to be made that, like, short form, algorithmically generated video is just terrible. And TikTok in particular is bad for any of 1,000 reasons that are related to the known business practices of TikTok, right? It's a platform for hate. It's a platform for radicalization. It's a very easy rabbit hole down which people can fall. I'm not going to stand here on my soapbox and say that TikTok was the greatest achievement in all of human history, and its banning was a moral affront to all that is good and decent. I'm not saying that. I don't know, and I don't feel qualified to have an opinion about whether TikTok in a vacuum should be allowed to exist. It is hilarious to me that the United States government bans TikTok under the guise of protecting the American citizens while allowing, say, DraftKings to operate. You know, I was, and to a certain degree remain, a proponent of legalized sports gambling. But the data is in, and the people who said it was gonna be bad were right. Shit's bad. People, broadly speaking, in general, are not capable of handling that kind of shit. It's been bad. It's gonna continue to be bad. And if we're talking about banning things because they're bad for people, legalized sports betting is right there. But we didn't ban legalized sports betting in this country because legalized sports betting isn't controlled by Chinese-owned companies, and what this really is just, China hate. It's Cold War II, Red Scare Boogaloo, It's nonsense. Absolutely is. Let me catch up on chat for a moment. Clancy says banning wasn't a moral affront, but an affront to the First Amendment right of freedom of speech. Yes and no. Yes, TikTok was obviously to me it is obvious that part of the reason that the hammer came down on TikTok is that a lot of young people were using it to realize, oh shit's bad here. Oh wait, oh shit's bad. Oh shit's bad here and here and here and here and here and in these ways, and this makes sense. Well, that's not good. Which is not a thing that generally, totalitarian crumbling empire type governments like, but also that's kind of the thing with every communication platform. People can be radicalized in either direction via YouTube Shorts. So I don't necessarily want to say that stating that one private business cannot operate for ostensible private business type reasons is a violation of the First Amendment. But then again, Clancy here is a actual law scholar employee person, so maybe I should defer to their knowledge. On the other hand, I'm the one with the microphone. A person who is knowledgeable in a field, or a loud, straight white man with a microphone? Who will win? Anyway. That was mean. I'm sorry, Clancy. All right. This purple house, we're going to run up over this way into this business right here. Okay. Big stretch. Oh, big stretch. Okay. So TikTok got banned, right? TikTok got banned. You want to talk about the reasons why TikTok got banned. You want to talk about whether it was good that TikTok got banned. The reasons why don't make sense. Was it good? I don't know. But it got banned. And very quickly, over the weekend, In the days leading up to the ban, the Democratic Party was like, wait, shit, why are we doing this? No, we didn't actually want to ban it. We just wanted to force you to sell it to an American company so that, an American company could have all of America's data. That's better? Question mark? See also Meta? Question mark? And TikTok was like, nah, we'll just let it go, but let it be banned. Listen, if you're not gonna let us run it, we're just gonna say that you're not gonna let us run it. Which is a thing they were entitled to do. And the day came, and midnight hit on this past Sunday, which was yesterday. And for days, I saw on my For You page on TikTok a whole bunch of people saying oh, it's been so great to be on this app. I've made friends. I've got a community. I've started a business. I've been able to live and feed myself and make money and all this good stuff. I wrote a cookbook. We wrote a book about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This cute little lesbian couple that makes the dirty jokes at each other got to be professional media creators or whatever. It was great for a whole bunch of people, and it was going away. And basically TikTok for the last few days had the vibe of the last few days of high school, where it's like, stay in touch, we'll be friends forever. Except instead of graduating high school, it's just some fuddy-duddies are closing your high school for reasons that don't make sense and don't stand up to any basic level of scrutiny, which is always a great thing to have happen. Speaking of things that are great to have happen, we're going to do something about this blue nightmare right here. This blue nightmare is a nightmare. I should really totally redraw this bridge. I'm not going to, because I'm afraid of what will happen to these orange businesses. They're already a little bit screwy. So we're just going to herk this orange road down this way, take it off here. These blues are not going to go anywhere. Good morning, Shotgun Splicer. Good to have you here. We'll swing this orange in a little more efficiently that way. So those oranges are just going to have this road all to themselves. This blue is now going to come up here and add additional support to that business. This purple is a convenient spawn to go here. All of these blues right here are going to take motorway number 3 into this business. So TikTok gets banned, and it's sad. But that's it. It's over. It's done for now. You hope that eventually something will happen and maybe we'll tick our talks again one day. Well, turns out, pretty much immediately after the ban went down, one of two things happened. And I don't know which, and they're both bad. Either TikTok, the company, went to President-elect and former President Donald John Trump, hat in hand, and said, "Oh, Mr. Trump, sir, we have been so unfairly done by these vile Democrats in office. Won't you please, sir, issue some edict that might allow us to continue operate our business, sir?" And President-elect Donald John Trump, in his infinite wisdom and guile and generosity, said, "Why, yes, I shall allow you to continue operating. But remember, it is only through the grace of Trump that you continue to be." Which is certainly the way that Donald Trump would like you to believe it happened. Or somebody at TikTok cut a check, or promised to cut a check, to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump changed his position because Donald Trump is inherently corrupt and corruptible. And this great business over here is not being... Oh, it's got these going to it. Okay. It's not that we're doomed. It's just that it's bad. Okay. Also that we're doomed. Actually, these businesses are just doomed. There's too many White Houses over here and not enough white dudes over here. And, well, not enough white dudes over here is what Republicans say when they look at college campuses. So... Anyway, this isn't going to go well. This is going to fall apart, most likely. It seems as though this is going to fall apart. All right. So, It's not that we're doomed, it's just that it's bad. That's true. That's a factual statement. If you hit, incidentally, Clancy, bang, add quote, and then type the quote in, it's not that it's doomed, it's just that it's bad. The underscore Goog on mini motorways and also America. Boop. So if you hit add quote and then the quote in question, that's how Nightbot adds the quote. The more you know. Let us hit this roundabout thing right here. We will take that. Is this white business gonna actually come together and do anything? Maybe. Is there a way for me to possibly roundaboutize over here? I don't think a roundabout is a good solution to this problem, but it's a tempting one. Anyway. I was going to go somewhere with something. Right. So one of two things happened. Either TikTok begged Donald Trump for clemency or TikTok bribed Donald Trump. But TikTok got Donald Trump to hold the position that TikTok should not be banned. And then, in addition to lobbying the incoming president to change a federal law, which, listen, is a thing you can do, that in and of itself is not bad. In addition to that, TikTok went out of its way to say in its messaging, first it was going to be, we're working with President Trump to try to restore our service, as if he is the president, which he isn't until, a few hours from now. But once again, blow the Donald Trump has been president this whole time Joe Biden was illegitimately elected dog whistle. It's a lengthily named dog whistle, but you know what it is. So they blow that dog whistle and say, we're working with President Trump. And then when Trump is, talked or cajoled or bribed into holding the position that TikTok should be allowed to exist, TikTok just turns the service back on, right? Like the ban wasn't actually saying that TikTok has to turn the service off in the United States. They just decided to do that because, if you're going to ban us, we're going to turn the service off and say that it was your fault, which is just a great thing for a company to do. Here's a thought. I'm not saying this is the case, but if I was, say, a company that was actively working to advance the interests of the Chinese government, specifically as it related to destabilizing the government of the United States of America, which is my chief competitor on the global stage, economically and societally and culturally speaking, one thing I might do, hypothetically, is say that a duly passed, we can put aside whether or not it was moral, but it was definitely legally passed bill can just be tossed aside at the whims of the right-wing strongman authoritarian dictator who has decided that law is bad, actually. That would be a thing I might do. Hypothetically speaking. Just hypothetically speaking. Might be a thing I might do. I might say encourage people to hold that belief. Okay? Just a thing you might consider doing if, say, you were, not entirely dedicated to making money, but at least part of the reason you exist was to feed and foment dissent and disinterest in civil society and general clusterfuckery in the United States of America. That's a thing I might do. It's a thing I might do. If you're paying attention here in the U.S., there are two messages out of this, I think, and they're both bad. This is another thing where I don't know which one is more prevalent, but they're both bad. Either, if you're paying just a little bit of attention to how this all went down, the message you get is the Democratic Party, in its complete ineptitude, has given one final fuck you to a generation of Americans who, I am 37 years old, by the way. I'm 37 years old, and the first time I ever voted was for Barack Obama for president. Since that moment, the Democratic Party's chief concern has been telling me and everyone like me to fuck off. More than anything else. Anything else. So if you're paying just a little bit of attention, the United States government passed a law, right? It went through Congress, it went to the president's desk, it got signed, it got challenged in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court voted 9-0 to say that it was a good law in the sense that it was a law that made sense on the books. It was a law that comported to the rules as written, which, listen, we can talk about the Supreme Court. We can talk about the liberal justices on the Supreme Court. If the liberal justices on the Supreme Court were the referees in Air Bud, they would be the ones issuing the ruling, ain't no rule that says a dog can't play basketball, whether or not the dog was on their team. If the conservative justices on the Supreme Court were the referees in Air Bud, their decision on whether or not there was a rule on the books that says a dog could or could not play basketball would be entirely determined by which team they were rooting for. That's the fucking difference between the liberal and conservative justices on the Supreme Court. Okay? So, Ghosty, prove me wrong. I spent 15 minutes last night thinking of that analogy, and I'm very proud of it for 15 minutes of effort. We got to do something about this orange business. I guess we'll take... what am I doing with this white road, by the way? I don't know where I'm going with this. Where am I going with this? Am I going up here? I don't think I'm going anywhere with this. I think I'm doing this with that White House. I think I'm killing this white road, and I think we're just doing this with this orange road. That's going to be fine. That business will live forever. Okay. So law student with a 4.0 GPA, Clancy says that's an excellent analogy. Thank you. I'm proud of it. Now then, my point is, the law, put aside whether or not the law is morally or intellectually good, because it's not, but that doesn't matter, right? Put aside whether or not the law is morally good. The point is, there was a law that was passed by the House of Representatives and the Senate. It was signed by the president. It was challenged and upheld in the Supreme Court. It is the law. And the incoming president just said, nah. And the company directly affected by the law is going with the incoming president who says, nah, and we're supposed to just be cool with this. That's bad. Okay? That's kind of runs counter to the whole idea of how the United States government works, which, again, you can talk about whether or not that's good, but those are the rules, and the incoming president has just said, nah. And the message is, that's good. It's bad that that's the message, but that's the message. The other way to look at it, and that way that I just laid out, is the message if you're paying a tiny bit of attention, which is where I am, right? I'm not like a political scholar. I'm not an economics expert. I'm not a law student. I'm not a professor. I'm not a politician. I'm not in government. I don't have any actual qualifications other than being a loud white dude with a microphone who has paid a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of attention. So that's right where I am. The other message for people who pay less attention than me is as follows. Joe Biden and the Democrats banned TikTok. Donald Trump brought it back. That's it. That's the message. That is also bad. That is also bad. Now, granted, that is, broadly speaking, true, but it is bad. It is a very bad thing to tell people, particularly young people who make their living or had their community on TikTok, and we're going to have it taken away, and we're crestfallen and destroyed and broken up by it because now Donald fucking Trump is a fucking hero to these people. Now, granted, people are smart, right? Many individual people all are smart. And some of these people are capable of holding multiple thoughts in their head, such as 1, Donald Trump is an asshole, but 2, Donald Trump contributed to bringing back this app I like. There are a great number of people for whom this right here, again, I am 37 years old. It's not that much of an exaggeration. And for people who are younger than me, it's not an exaggeration at all to say that Donald Trump, the narrative that they've gotten is that Donald Trump personally intervened and saved TikTok, right? That narrative is the most direct, beneficial, government-driven action those people have seen in their entire lives. Because I am 37 fucking years old. The one other thing that comes close to the direct intervention, like if I was a person who made my living on TikTok, the only thing that would even come close is the passing of the Affordable Care Act. That namby-pamby, watered-down piece of legislation that sucked in concept, got worse in committee, and has existed mostly to just funnel money to insurance companies since it was passed in 2009, and which the Democratic Party has tried to hang their hat on for the entire lifespan of a person who can drive now. That is the crowning achievement of the Democratic Party. Compare that with Donald Trump intervened and saved TikTok. It's bad. It's fucking bad. The one thing listen, famous tweet regarding ISIS, you don't have to give it to them. The one thing you have to fucking give the Republican fucking Party is that they fucking understand that the point of power is to use power to do things. The things are bad. The things are fucking bad. The things are terrible and going to be bad. And my heart breaks when I think about the way that the things are bad. I am not here to say that the things are good or the people doing the things are good or that I am in favor of them. The point of power is to use power to do things. That is what the Republicans understand. Anything that is in their way, be it Senate parliamentarianisms or cloture or even just the fucking Constitution of the fucking United States, does not matter compared to the point that the point of power is to use power to do things. And if there is no one stopping you from doing a thing, and you want to do the thing, and you have the power to do the thing, you should use the power to do the thing. That's what the Republicans are doing in the White House and in Congress and in the streets of the United States. Fuck it. That's what the Los Angeles Dodgers are doing with their money and free agency. The point of power is to use the power to do the thing. Title of the goddamn episode. Very bad. I'm very bad about stuff. Let's play Wordle. The hell did my Wordle screen go? Okay. Yeah, they have drafts of I'm terrified when I think of like this country could be radically reshaped today. It probably will be. We are fucked. It's really fucking bad. Why did I think of this as my first word? Okay. It's not faith. It could be groin. Could be groin. There's an I in the fourth letter. Do olive. Nope. Sorry. It can't be olive. We found out where the I goes, though. It's not going to be tacit because there's no A and no T. It's not going to be digit because there's no D. It's not going to be pivot. Okay, shotguns wise, some of the executive orders could be struck down. That's theoretically possible. And listen, I'm sure, absolutely sure, just based on the way Donald Trump ran his last presidency, plenty of whatever executive orders he has in mind for today will be highly unconstitutional bullshit. The ones that go with conservative and Republican viewpoints are not getting struck down because the conservative justices on the Supreme Court understand that the point of power is to use the power to do the thing. Conservative justices on the Supreme Court have the power to do whatever they want and are going to do whatever they want. It could be livid. It actually could be livid. It's not, but it could have been. And we found out that there's a D. It can't be canid because there's no A and no N. It could be... There have been isolated instances of conservative justices on the Supreme Court voting against something Donald Trump wanted. That's true. There have been times when John Roberts, for instance, has been like, I don't know about that one, Donnie. I would be interested to see how many times John Roberts says, I don't know about that one, Donnie, over the next 4 years. And it will be interesting to see how long that matters because Sonia Sotomayor's hero is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, apparently, because they've done the same goddamn thing. How's your health these days, Sonia? Let's see here. Could it be timid? No, because we already know that there's only one I. Okay, and there's no T, so it can't be timid. It could be... Can't be plaid. There's no L. It can't be... Could it be humid? No, there's no H. Interesting. Is humid a word? I don't think humid is a word. Yeah, no, humid isn't a word. Sad. It could be squid. It could actually be squid. Am I a squid? I'm a squid. All this time I thought I was a kid. Republicans aren't inherently extremists is conservative. Every conservative position is very unpopular, and yet 40% of the country identifies as Republican. And the Republican platform is one of the most extremist right-wing documents in the world. So, on an individual level, yeah, but, you know, that's, yeah, class consciousness would be a wonderful thing if we had that. It would be great if we had that in this country. We fucking don't. It would be real good. It would be real good. It would be real nice. But hey, we can't have nice things. We started off talking about banning TikTok, right? Also, yeah, like the furthest left-wing mainstream politician in the United States is what, Bernie Sanders? Yeah, Bernie's still further to the left than AOC. So, like, Bernie Sanders, roughly, like, center, maybe a little to the right in most European parties. But, good news, all of Europe is also crashing to the fascist right. So, hey, we're fucked. And you could always move to Canada if you don't pay attention to the polling in their upcoming elections. We're fucked. Oh, boy. All right. it was the thing that's, it's not that. The thing that I saw and the thing that I held on to is it's not specifically that fascism is back in fashion so much as this past election cycle was terrible for anyone who was in power anywhere. Like any sitting government, any incumbent administrative system got fucking wrecked in their country's last election because everything is bad everywhere. And people are mad. And eventually, maybe, listen, this is the most optimistic thing I'm going to say in this entire fucking episode. So if you're still here looking for a kernel of hope, here it comes. Everything is fucking bad everywhere because everyone is fucking broke or fucking scrambling or fucking clinging to what they have with white goddamn knuckles. And they're scared and they're mad and they're angry. And the reason for that on a global scale is that the economy is broken, the rich have too many, corporations have taken too much. That is true everywhere. And every incumbent democratically elected government got fucking wrecked in their last elections because of that. So if... and this is a huge, enormous if that I don't actually think is going to happen, but I promised optimism. If somebody, several million somebodies, but if somebody fucking takes that and uses it to actually unite the working and not working and lower classes, if somebody actually does get those people to see the actual problem. And if they can use that to seize power and then use the power to do the thing, we might get out of this only majorly scathed. This ceases the optimistic part of the program. It's not gonna fucking happen, but if... it is so not gonna fucking happen. It's gonna go real fucking bad. Imagine if North Korea had nukes. I know North Korea kinda maybe does sort of have nukes, but imagine if North Korea had, like, all of the nukes. It's gonna go so bad. It's gonna be so much worse for everyone who's not me, but it's gonna go so fucking bad. It's gonna be so bad. Okay. Crook, angle, bend, and elbow. That's true. Those are things that happen. Those are angle things. Those are bendy stuffs. Okay. It's gonna go so bad. So you've got, well, I see shoulder and forearm, but that's about it. Balance is a beam. A shoulder beam? No, it's not right. Can you have an anchor beam? Well, you can anchor, bear, shoulder, and balance. These are things you can do with a load, right? No? Okay, fine. Fitted is a type of sheet. Samurai Sam with the Crab Brave. Hi, Sam. We're dooming today. Oh, boy. So, you can handle an anchor and... Well, a pipe wrench. Fitted wrench? I don't know if that's a thing. Is a fitted wrench a thing? It sort of sounds right, but... boy. Cookie is a cutter. Cheat. Man. Let's see here. Assume, bear, handle, and shoulder. These are things you do with loads, right? Take on. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Pipe cutter is a thing, right? Pipe cutter, cookie cutter. Balance cutter? No. Cheat cutter? Spinach cutter? Forearm cutter. I have no plan about eating the rich. I don't think the rich are tasty. But, who's to say? So yeah, we've got pipe cutter, cookie cutter. I don't think that's right. Anchor cutter, no. Pipe wrench, fitted wrench, anchor wrench. What's a spinach wrench? I don't think a spinach wrench is a thing. Well, crap. Forearm. Wait. Pipe, anchor, spinach, and forearm. That's Popeye the Sailor Man. Those are things that are associated with Popeye. Okay. Fitted, cookie, cheat, and balance. These are sheets. Fitted sheet, a cookie sheet, a cheat sheet, a balance sheet. Yep, those are all sheets. All right. Curiouser and Curiouser is today's Strands theme. Is that a Sherlock Holmes line? Parlor Ghost, help me. They could have used olive oil. Would have given it away because olive oil in the comics spells it with a Y. Alice in Wonderland. Oh, okay. That would probably explain why I see an Alice right here. Would explain why. Oh, interesting. So, Alice in? No. Alice says no. Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, we have our muse, which is a thing you can be. Or you can be a muser, which is a person who muses. Clancy sees a rabbit, which is right up here. Rabbit. And we have a great many other things, presumably. You can tend to a garden. It's a true fact. You can cut someone with a lathe. That would be bad. Don't do that to a person. Clancy sees wonder. Yep, there's wonder. And you know what? I think that's actually part of our spangram because it's Wonderland. Right there. Boom. And we have croquet over here. And this is probably one thing here, but maybe not. Hatter. Ghosty sees Hatter over here. Ah, that's what that is. Hatre. Nope. Wait. Hatter. Better. Dormouse. Okay. I have a question. What's a dormouse? I don't know what a dormouse is, but okay. Fine. So this whole thing. Oh, it's caterpillar. Okay. That one's not very difficult. Alice in Wonderland theme spangram. Very nice. Well done. Good job, Strands. For today's Immaculate Grid, we need Guardians, Yankees, Reds, dudes what struck out 200 dudes in a season, dudes what won them a Cy Young, and dudes what won 10 games in a season. A dude who won a Cy Young and 10 games in a season is, of course, Pedro Martinez. Dude who won a Cy Young for Cleveland is Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber won him a Cy Young, didn't he? Sure did. Guy who won a Cy Young for the Yankees is Garrett Cole. Bay. Glorious. 200 strikeout season for the Yankees is probably something Roger Clemens did, but let's not go that far. CC Sabathia would have gotten 200 in a season. He was good. CC Sabathia for the Yankees? Yep. 200 strikeout for the Guardians also would have been CC Sabathia, but I think Bob Feller would have done that. He pitched a whole bunch of innings, struck out some fellas. His name was Fella, after all. Guy who struck out 200 in a season while achieving 10 or more victoriousnesses was one Randall James Johnson. And now, we must name some Cincinnati Reds. Oh dear God. All right. Cincinnati Red who pitched for the Yankees is Aroldis Chapman. Cincinnati Red who played for the Cleveland Guardians is Brandon Phillip? No. Roberto Allen? No. Well, shit. Well, you know, a Cincinnati Red who had 10 or more wins in a season is named the only Cincinnati Red the Goog remembers, Pete Shurik. And now we are one away from a purely immaculate grid, if I can remember one fucking dude who played for the Reds and the Guardians. David Ross played for the Reds, didn't he? I've already said one who fits. Great. Awesome. Amazing. That doesn't help. Does that help? I don't think that helps. I've only said like 4 dudes, and yet. Did David Ross played for the Reds? I'm pretty confident that David Ross played for the Reds. That seems like a thing, right? I'm not making that up. No, I'm not making that up. David Ross. God! Anger. David Ross did play for the... He didn't play for the Guardians. Oh! David Ross didn't play for the Guardians. Well, blast it. Brandon Phillips was indeed a Guardian. Okay. All right. Folks, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. I know I have ranted a lot today, and ordinarily this would be the point where we say, everybody take care of each other and we'll get through this. And listen, everybody should take care of each other. I'm not exactly confident that we're going to get through this. And broadly speaking, on a zoom out scale, we're all going to die anyway. So, listen. I promise that tomorrow I won't talk about it. Okay? Let's go with that. I don't have anything else to say. Seriously, be good to one another. Be mean and awful to the conservatives in your life. And we will do our best. And we will protect what we can, and we will hold what we have, and we will probably get through this. And if we're going to, we will do it together. Thank you for watching Good Morning Mini Motorways. There will be more stuff on YouTube later. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye. Oh, hey, a whiteout. Na 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 whiteout. Sorry. Should probably feel bad about that.